Hey, it's Black Vader, or I am Michael once again. I'm reading the code, Area 6, People Politics. For some reason, when I make thumbnails, uh, YouTube gives me less views, so I guess I won't make thumbnail this time. So, when asked about any of your close so-called friends, oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe, page 211, and we're reading the code by Neely Fullers. You can get it at producejustice.com. Yada yada yada. Let's get into it. When asked about any of your close so-called friends and or associations in matters associated with race, say the following: I have I have always been far more associated with the white supremacist racist than I have ever been associated with any so-called friends. Repeat. I have always been more associated with the white supremacist racist than I have been ever associated with any so-called friends. Explanation: white supremacist racists do not allow their victims, non-white people, to have friends. When someone tells you that he or she is a gang member, ask him or her the following. 1. What is the name of your gang? 2. As a gang member, what are you required or expected to do in each area of activity: economics, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, counter-war? 3. As a gang member, what are you required or respected or expected to do in regards to your interactions with me and other non-white people in each area of activity? Explanation: the system of white supremacy is a system that is designed to promote violence and teach, bribe, and or force people to be violent and or glorify or worship violence. And I'm already gonna say it. Even with the gas prices, the taxes, this is all white supremacy, just making everybody pay for higher things and work longer hours and get mad because if they can afford things, they're just going to do crime, and that's just going to make more crime and people are going to suffer more, and it's just going to worsen and promote violence. And this is not a good system when we have all the resources here necessary in this planet. So let me go on. That's just my part of it. Let me continue to read. During the existence of white supremacy, all non-white so-called gang members are the direct or indirect product of those white people who participate in the practice of white supremacy. Therefore, during the existence of white supremacy, each and every non-white so-called gang member is at all times being used to speak and or act violently to support racism, and or he or she is speaking and acting to counter racism and resist being used to support racism. So basically, if you're non-white, you're either in support of racism or resisting racism. So like me having a job or you having a job, we're keeping this thing going when we could just stop this overnight, stop working for them immediately overnight. We can end all this overnight, but we got to keep the wheel running because we like money, we like the movies, we like TV, we like entertainment. So this could all be ended, but I don't think people are really willing to do what they're supposed to do so. Um, Let me continue on to read. Notes. During the existence of white supremacy, and according to compensatory counter-racist logic, it is correct for all non-white people to ask white people to provide them with all of their constructive needs, including all of the necessary protection in all areas of activity. Therefore, if any non-white person who is a victim of any unjust harm that is inflicted upon him or her by any person, white or non-white, is the fault of those white people who participate in the system of white supremacy. This means that those white people who allow non-just harm to be done to any non-white person are themselves guilty of doing the non-just harm it should be required to compensate for all that was done. No person should be blamed for doing whatever is truly necessary to protect himself or herself from violent or non-just harm. Let me read that one more time, just in case. It kind of flew over my head. Notes. During the existence of white supremacy, and according to compensatory counter-racist logic, it is correct for all non-white people to ask white people to provide them with all of their constructive needs, including all of their necessary protection in all areas of activity. Therefore, if any non-white person is a victim of any unjust harm that is inflicted upon him or her by any person, non-white or white, it is the fault of the white people who participate in a system of white supremacy. This means that those white people who allow any non-just harm to be done to any white person are themselves guilty of doing the non-just harm and should be required to compensate for all that was done. No person should be blamed for doing whatever is truly necessary to protect himself or herself from violent or non-just harm. So basically, white supremacy is a prison world, and in the prison, the white people are like our bailiffs. And if I'm hurt in this prison, it's the bailiff's fault for not protecting me because this is your prison that you put us all in. I was born in this prison, so if I'm born in this prison, I'm only reacting to what's going on in this prison. But since you guys own this prison, anything that happens to me within this prison is technically your fault because this is your prison. This is not my prison. Do you understand? And now think of that prison as the entire globe. You know what I'm saying? So this section may be called America Concept section in this corner over there. That may be called Africa Concept section in that area over there. This may be called Canada Concept section in this area over there. Different prisons have different rules in different areas. You know what I'm saying? So like this area may be better than over here. That area may be better than over there. This area may be better than over here. But guess what? It's all a fucking prison. So you may get transferred, you may get moved, your job may even change. But as long as the prison is keep going, it's going to keep going. Let me continue to read. When asked what one person can and should do to best help end gang violence, tribal violence, etc. between and among non-white people, say and do the following. As long as white supremacy racism exists, blame the white supremacists for everything that happens. Should not happen. Yeah. Sorry, I had a phone call. When asked what person can and should do to best help end gang violence, tribal violence, etc. between and among non-white people, say and do the following. As long as white supremacy racism exists, blame the white supremacists for everything that happens that should not happen between, among, against non-white people. Speak and act each and every day according to the counter-racist code that is specifically designed to best help one person to say and or do things that will directly and indirectly motivate white people to decide to end the system of white supremacy and replace it with a system of justice, balance between people in all areas of activity. Question: What should be the purpose in any social group in which you volunteer to participate in? Answer: Do not willfully help function as so-called fraternities, clubs, sororities, social groups, etc. That does not have as a reason for existence the elimination of racism and establishment for justice, correctness, and peace. Do not say anything about another person unless you are ready, willing, and able to repeat what you said to everyone in the known universe. Also, be very, very careful about repeating something that one person said that another person said. It is very easy to make a mistake. People are often quoted incorrectly. Explanation: Sometimes with the best and correct intentions, people do not correctly repeat or correctly interpret what others have said. Do not make promises that you will not keep or cannot keep, and keep every promise that you make. When a person makes a promise to you and does not keep that promise, say one or more of the following to that person. I think I have failed to understand something that is not, that I should not have failed to understand. Can you tell me what that is? 2. Do you remember that you promised me something? 3. Do I owe you something? 4. Is there something you forgot to tell me? If so, do you know what it is? And I think I'm going to stop right here. I got business to attend to. So, for what I read so far, it was talking about friendship and tribal violence, or do not say anything to another person unless you're willing to repeat it to the universe, and do not make promises unless you're willing to keep them. Yeah. So like, comment, subscribe. This is Michael, aka Black Vader. I'm here again, doing what I'm supposed to do. And thank you guys for being here with me as well. We're going to continue to read the code and do what we got to do to end this system somehow, some way. And thank you guys for rolling with me. I may not seem like I'm on code all the time, and if I blow up one day and people see this and be like, hey, that guy is racist, or this guy is doing this, and yada yada, just remember, like, I do love black people, and I love myself, and not only do I love black people, I love white people as well. But the system is this system, and I see. I understand how Neely Fuller can look at the system as jail, and I've been in jail a couple times, but I look at it as like a kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like a kingdom. Like there's the crowns and stuff at the top, and we're all like peasants just trying to get to the top. And all different races are like, how about maybe it's both? Like it's a kingdom and a prison at the same time. The kingdom is for the white supremacists, and the prison is for the non-white people. So like for the non-whites, it's a prison, but we're trying to look at it through the eyes of the white supremacist who looks at it as a kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but all I know is I'm going to keep reading the code. Thank you guys for being here with me. I'm going to continue to do the work. I kind of don't want to blow up because that's what happened to Kevin Samuels and they got him. So I kind of don't. I'd rather just get rich and be quiet. Yeah, so pray for me for that. And God bless everyone who is a part of this. And yeah, that's it. Peace.